Well, good afternoon and welcome to the 660 Club. This is still the only place where you can meet 6 game-changing startups in 60 minutes and network with industry leaders without breaking any of Boris's rules. We've now welcomed over 1,000 members. It's been an amazing journey, but as we move forward, I want to make the 660 Club even more relevant and useful to you. With that in mind, we've split 660 into industry groups, and so marketing leaders will be meeting here every second Thursday of each month, right through to the end of 2020, to explore the latest technologies in marketing and to network with each other. If this is your first time, welcome to the club. My name's Jeremy Bassett. I'm CEO of CoCubed. And at CoCubed, our approach to helping marketing leaders is to help them lead digital transformation by connecting them with startups from around the world who are driving disruption. Here's a 30-second overview of what we do. At CoCubed, we're really passionate about connecting brands and startups. We want to make it easy for brands to connect with startups that are driving new solutions into the industry. It's a win-win-win. And we're always looking for ways to disrupt ourselves. So we set ourselves the challenge: how can we come up with a model that delivers practical startup solutions bespoke to your brand in 24 hours for an amount that you can charge to your credit card? Well, I'm excited to offer club members access to Go Partner. And here's how it works. You can give us a brief. We'll get our network of scouts to curate 10 startups overnight that we think are right for you, and they'll land back in your inbox, all for $4.95. So if you're inspired by the startups that you see here today, but you've got a specific challenge that you'd like to tackle, well, share your brief, swipe your card, and let's go partner. You can find out more through heading to gopartner.com or shoot us an email. So let's get this show on the road. Here's how today is going to work. We're going to kick off in a minute with some insights from the brains behind MadFest, who you'll meet in just a second. Then you'll hear some quick fire pitches from 6 startups who are pioneering the future of marketing. And finally, we'll move into the networking zone, where you can find out more about the solutions that you've heard here today, tap into their insights, ask questions, but also meet other club members. If you want to see any more details or request meetings with any of the startups, you can contact them directly. Head to their booth right after this, click on the connect button, and your details will be shared automatically. Throughout the event, if you need anything, the chat bar's there on the right. Say hello, make comments, ask questions, and the CoCubed team's on standby to help you out with anything you might need as well. So it's my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker for today, Dan Brain. Dan is a leading content creation and marketing director. He spent most of his career working at large event organizations and co-founded MadFest back in 2008. MadFest is the new Cannes. It's replaced. It's been a sellout event the last 2 years, and a load of exciting stuff coming right up for MadFest. But to tell us more, Dan, thank you for joining.
Thanks, Jeremy. How are you doing?
What a rock star. Check out those glasses.
Well, hanging on to what's left of summer.
Bring it on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great move, working outside. Hey, Dan, why don't you start? Give us a bit of a brief on what MadFest is, what it's all about, who's it for.
Yeah, sure. So as you said, Jeremy, we've known each other for a little while, and I'd worked around the event space for far too long to remember. And become a little bit disillusioned with the models and the sort of lack of innovation. So did the sensible thing, quit my job, put together a business plan, and came up with the concept of MadFest. So it's a marketing, advertising, and disruption festival We launched back in 2018, and we really sort of set it upon ourselves to come up with more interesting content formats, to create more immersive environments for people to network in, and to really sort of connect the newest and most exciting startups with brands.
Brilliant. And you've obviously got stuff going on right across the year, but the next big thing on the calendar is November. Talk us through what's happening in November.
So MadFest in November is going to be a hybrid event. So we are doing a little bit similar to what we're doing now. In the live event will be supported with a digital proposition as well. So you'll be able to tune in from wherever you are in the globe. And really sort of get involved in our innovation pitches. So we're partnering with CoCubed to run a variety of briefs where startups can actually pitch and build relationships with brands. We've got some amazing speakers lined up, people like Resi founder Alexandra de Pledge. We've got Sir Martin Sorrell and lots of CMOs from top global brands.
Amazing. Yeah, cool. Great lineup. And obviously, like you alluded to, we're working together on this as well. Dan, why don't you talk through the opportunity for brands to get involved in MadFest?
Sure. So we've worked with a number of brands in the 2 short years of MadFest. So last year we teamed up with Diageo and Avon and ran sort of 20K innovation pitches. Really well received. It's a fantastic opportunity for the brands to discover new innovations, for the startups to build relationships with those corporates, and actually for the audience as well. It's a really nice dynamic content format. So what we've decided to do, rather than having 2 innovation pitches like we did last year, we're going to actually increase that number by working with CoCubed to really make it a sort of core part of the content proposition. And we're really excited. I mean, for us as a startup ourselves, we want to be seen to be, playing a role a bit like CoCubed in connecting brands and startups and really sort of leveling the playing field. So startups and brands going to, get access. It's a very, very simple, transparent model for the startups to get involved.
Brilliant. Yeah, a great opportunity for brands and great opportunity for startups. And then, of course, at this show, the live event next year, there'll be 50 startups as well. Dan, talk through what's happening in startup land at MadFest.
Yeah, so as I've said, I think we are working with CoCubed to have those briefs, the brand innovation challenges. We actually, due to our business model, we sort of pack MadFest with lots of top brands and agencies, and then actually put briefs together so the startups have the opportunity to pitch to those brands. So we've got some fantastic ones lined up. I don't know if we can announce them now, Jeremy, or
well, yeah, we've got 6 startups that people are going to be meeting today. So why don't we jump into that in just a minute? But yeah.
Cool.
Very cool, Dan. Well, look, thanks for joining. And please, if you're a marketing leader or involved in the industry, do join MadFest in November. And of course, if you've got a brand challenge that you'd like startups to solve, we'd love to look at how we can solve that as part of the festival as well. You can reach out to me for that as well. But Dan, thanks for joining today.
Thanks, Jeremy.
All right, cool. Now, as Dan was about to break the news on it, we've got 6 startups that are joining, and it's time to dive into their pitches. Their pitches are going to be intentionally fast and furious. This is 2 minutes per startup, enough to give you a bit of a taste before you go and connect with them in the expo zone or talk to them in the networking space. But hopefully this gives you enough information to decide whether or not to move forward with those follow-on conversations. So on to our first pitch. With the economy struggling and marketing budgets shrinking, every pound counts. So how can brands be sure they're putting their marketing spend in the right place? Well, with the answer, please welcome John from Modo25. John, welcome to the club.
Hi, Jeremy. Thank you very much. So I'm the founder of a business called Modo25. We've developed some marketing technology called Bosco. I think in recent times, a lot of CMOs have realized they're investing too much money into Google and not necessarily seeing the returns. And then now CFOs and CEOs are more interested in the metrics of what's going on. But you're very unlikely to give them access to your Google AdWords or your Google Analytics. So we've developed Bosco, which is the Digital Marketing Prediction Index. What Bosco does is it helps you plan where to split your budget across all the digital marketing channels. It then enables you to predict where else you should be investing your money to get maximum return, and also plan future scenarios. And then it ultimately enables you to work out which area you can get maximum profit by connecting all your data together into one really user-friendly trading dashboard, because there's almost too much data out there for people to be able to make accurate decisions. So Bosco is that sort of really simple tool that can sit in a senior person's pocket to help them make better decisions with certainty and clarity for their digital marketing spend. I think that was less than 2 minutes.
That is perfect, John. Perfect. So, John, talk me through it. I mean, if a client had an additional 30K, how would you know where they should spend that to maximize their ROI?
So fundamentally, what we're looking at is what is that they might have a particular target. So they might be looking at return on ad spend, or they might be looking at cost of sale or maximize profit. We'll take their metrics, we'll analyze their data on the fly, and then we will say, right, based on your product, based on your average order value, based on your market, we think you're better off spending it in this way, not just in one channel. We'll take that 30K and say, right, you should spend it in this split. So this much in Google Ads, this much on Amazon, this much on Facebook, etc. And then hopefully, if they then wanted to connect their data, we could actually forecast that and measure back after we've done the prediction to see if that forecast matched. So to give us based on the accuracy of the prediction.
Okay, very cool. Lots to discuss there. Thanks for joining, John. Let's jump into our second pitch. So the question I have for you is, how do you make sure that you get the right questions to the right targeted consumers to enable a collection of responses that are relevant to your business? Focus groups are a thing of the past. Here with a new solution to the way you elicit insights, please welcome Oscar from Instapanel.
Thank you, Jeremy. So yeah, my name is Oscar Tuales. I lead commercial strategy for Instapanel. We are a new breed of market research company that basically is on a mission to reinvent focus groups for a time where we now have access to people walking around with the mobile devices and being able to provide input and feedback in real time, but also very importantly in context, because they can do this wherever they are. And maybe for the last few months, it's been mostly at home, trying to get work done. But as the economy restarts and people start getting out, we are starting to be able to send people into supermarkets or any kind of environments where they can actually realize some of these missions that our clients are interested in looking in terms of consumer journeys. And typically how it works is we use social media for recruitment. So people will see an ad on Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat if you're looking for younger audiences. And then they click on the ad, and very quickly they are taken to our web-based survey platform, and in 2 clicks they could be recording themselves on video, answering open-ended questions or reacting to any kind of stimuli that we put in front of them. Once we have all those video responses, the bulk of the work that we do is extracting insights from them. We will do transcriptions, translations when needed, because we do support about 25 languages. We have a global scope in terms of where we're able to recruit. And once we have all that material, our analysts will sociologically tag the responses, which means that we are not just focusing on keywords, but actually trying to understand the contents of notions that people are expressing in those responses. And then all of this becomes an interactive infographic, which is the main deliverable for every study that we provide. Happy to answer any questions at the booth if you guys are interested.
That's great, Oscar. Quick question for you from my side. What's the typical turnaround of the study?
That's a great question. Typically for consumer studies, the time is between 3 to 5 days. It could be as quick as 48 hours if it is a really broad targeting criteria. But yeah, it can happen in less than a week for most cases.
Very cool. That is a game changer. All right, thanks, Oscar.
Thank you.
We'll catch up with you in the booths and networking right after this. All right, let's jump into our third pitch. So it's no secret that consumers often trust the opinions of their peers more than what they trust brands that are trying to communicate to them. Helping brands leverage authentic peer-to-peer content. Please welcome MyYappy's Andrew. Andrew, welcome. Oh, Martin.
It's Martin, yeah. Hi, Jeremy. How you doing?
Martin.
Took you by surprise there. So why does MyYappy exist as a business? So I think probably the easiest way to explain that is a quote from Nielsen. So 92% of consumers around the world say that they trust earned media, such as recommendations from friends and family, above all other forms of advertising. So in an age when the consumer wants it real, how can brands communicate that authenticity? MyYappy is a software platform which makes it easy for brands to find and deploy consumer-generated content at scale. Our platform allows brands to search for content by hashtag, by mention, and even by image, making it easy for the brand to fulfill its content needs. Brands use user-generated content. The statistics show it increases engagement, it drives conversion, it's basically free to use, and it's readily available. As well as acquiring images, videos, and comments from social media networks, we can also facilitate the direct upload of content. So if you start to obtain first-party content, you start to acquire first-party data, allowing a brand to expand relationships, build communities, and further increase engagement. But once you've found the content, it's very easy to acquire consent through our GDPR compliant engine to use that content. And this content can then be used across all of the brand's digital touchpoints. These include websites, e-commerce platforms, social media, digital signage, and email. So to conclude, MyYappy enables brands to reduce its costs in acquiring content, save time, and increase engagement and conversion.
That's a great pitch, Martin. Quick one. You mentioned that you get consent from the users. How do you go about getting consent from users?
Yeah, good question. Our platform enables brands to select the content that they want to use, then to engage with a content creator to ask for that consent whilst providing terms and conditions. We then manage that positive consent as those messages come back in, and we log that consent. And depending on the industry and the market, we see between sort of 45 and 85% success rate from consent requests.
Okay, fascinating. Cool. Well, we'll look forward to catching up with you in the networking section right after this.
Thanks, Jeremy.
And thanks, Martin. So next up, it's no secret that millions of pieces of content are created every day. You've got articles, blogs, comments, videos, social posts. However, a lot of those are biased or misleading, and nobody can really make sense of their quality. But here with a solution, please welcome Dhruv from Fact Matter. Dhruv, over to you.
Hi, guys. So as Jeremy mentioned, there are brands today have a big problem with the way that they analyze online opinion. So what's happened in the last few years is that we have multiple social media listening tools, media monitoring tools, which are each good at doing different things. So you have one that's good for Twitter, one that's good for press releases, and so on. There is no real platform that's able to bring all of those different discussions into one place, accurately categorize them into the different themes and narratives that are evolving within those public opinions, even to granular degrees like finding one or two people expressing an opinion about something, and then track how those narratives might be spreading, might expand, and might pose a threat to your brand. We're building a platform that actually does that automatically without any human intervention across multiple different platforms in any topic that you want to analyze, and actually move towards a system that can actually produce ongoing actionable insights and suggested actions in communications, product development, and marketing. And that's really where we are innovating here, where we're not just providing alerts, but actually, and sentiment analysis, but actually providing strategic actions and in some way assisting the work that your agency already does today. So if you're interested, please reach out in the booth and find out more.
Fascinating. Dhruv, one quick question from me. Obviously, you see a lot of brands across multiple platforms. What would you suggest to brands, though, that in terms of like how should they engage in some of the more controversial social action media, things that come up on social media?
Yeah, I mean, just even with our system having just launched, we've found so many conversations that really major brands aren't engaging with. These tend to be things that are political nature. For example, accusations of brands sponsoring certain politicians, or often using certain materials or ingredients in their products. And actually, it's important to start to engage in those conversations really early on, because as we know, as they start to blow up and narratives aren't managed, these are subtle, but actually can completely destroy reputation. It's very hard. It's proven very hard to win that back. So it's about early detection, but actually facilitating that engagement that we help with.
Interesting. Yeah, nice approach. All right, Dhruv, thanks for joining. We'll catch up with you in the networking section right after this. So just 2 more pitches to go. Did you know there are more people listening to audio content than ever? In the UK alone, 7.1 million people stream and download podcasts every week. So how do you effectively get your brand's message across audibly? Well, here with an answer from AI Music, please welcome Gareth. Gareth, over to you.
Hi. Thanks very much, Jeremy. We're AI Music. We are a team of music and technologists helping brands create more engaging experiences using music and audio. We help brands do more with music. Human creativity and machine intelligence is the core of what we do, and it allows us to infinitely scale music and human creativity. Whether you need a specific track for a video, a dynamic sound bed for an audio ad, or music for your podcast app, any use, our mission is to make the process of finding and adapting professional quality music and finding that perfect song effortless. Our music is adaptable to fit any situation, whether dynamically via an API or through a user interface or our tools. We take a user-centric view to audio and creative, no one-size-fits-all use of music. Use music to drive deeper connections with consumers without the headaches and limitations that are normally associated with standard music licensing. But don't just take my word for it. Last year, we built a new dynamic audio ad format for media agency Spark that helped US telecoms brand Cox Communication increase audio ad engagement by over 200%. We've been featured in the press, including the BBC and Wired and The Guardian. We've won award nominations with The Drum. OMM, been nominated for 2 Festival of Media Awards. Cutting-edge AI technology, coupled with the adoption of digital audio generally and the proliferation of services and audio content, has opened the door for new possibilities. And forward-thinking brands are leaning in. Thanks for listening. Please come talk to us if you'd like to know more.
Brilliant. Thanks, Gareth. Some great insights there.
Thank you.
Mentioned about how does a platform manage rights?
So it's not so much that we manage rights, but music licensing can be complicated based on what you want to use it for, whether it's a video or it's radio, etc., etc. What we do is we scale that content and we make it adaptable. So all those rights are packaged in, so effectively you can use that music and adapt it across any use case with a very, very simple version of licensing. So none of the challenges that inherently sometimes come from using music in places where it otherwise isn't cleared.
Okay, very cool. Thanks for joining, Gareth. We'll catch up with you right after this. And now it's time for our final pitch today. Do you need to establish quickly what new products are going to be winners with consumers? Well, here is a solution to help improve the way you do sampling. We've got Try It, and from Try It, please welcome Alex. Alex, over to you.
Hi guys, thanks for your time. I'll try and keep the Glasgow accent to a minimal. So I'm Alex, I'm the founder of Try It, and we are people product matchmakers powered by big data. We specialise in data-driven sampling, and we tend to work with a certain type of brand, either a brand who's already quite data-orientated or one who's looking to become more data-orientated within their general marketing mix. Within that remit, we specialise in driving trial, growing awareness, collecting content, and gathering insights. And the idea is that you can facilitate that all at speed, scale, and a fraction of the cost through a single distribution of data-driven sampling. Our platform combines data science and technology to challenge the industry standards around sampling and activation, as well as things like focus groups, influencer marketing, and the collection and repurpose of user-generated content. How it works for consumers is they simply sign up on our website to be eligible to receive products from the Try It community. They'll create a profile. That profile stores over 100 data points on who they are, what kind of lifestyle they lead, how healthy, how active, what products they like, where they shop, why they shop there, and what might make them buy something else from a different store. This allows our data team to hyper-target and use data science to match them with suitable products and brands. Therefore, we can influence their purchase decisions and drive them towards changes in behaviour around their shopping and the brands that they engage with. A typical 10,000 in-home experience campaign gathers 10,000 hyper-targeted product trials, 5,000 authentic social posts from the consumers themselves, over 1 million organic views on social media as a result of the user-generated content, over 14,000 pieces of user-generated content available to repurpose as the brands please, and a 9,400 person focus group where we can combine the answers from the consumers themselves as well as all the profile information and offer industry-leading insight reports. The final result that comes from a data-driven sampling campaign is a 55% conversion from trial to purchase. The reason for that being we don't do hit and hope sampling. It's about our understanding and our matchmaking process to engage and reach those that are statistically most probable to be receptive to a new product or a new brand. We've effectively built Try It to challenge the industry standards of sampling. We don't typically shoot for the highest volume of sampling. We're shooting for the minimum volume to gain the maximum efficiency, reduce waste, and gain the best results that our brands can get. If you have any questions, please reach out to me, and thanks again for your time.
Excellent. Thanks, Alex. I love a bit of Glasgow accent, so bring that on. So talk me through, how targeted can brands really be with sampling through Try It?
It's pretty intense. I think on a very granular top line level, all the kind of basic demographics, age, location, gender, right down to where someone shops, why they shop there, how much alcohol they drink, what they pay for alcohol, as well as their lifestyles, their activities, their diets, their family, their pets, down to what colour of hair they have and whether they're from Glasgow.
Brilliant.
Well,
good stuff. Thanks, Alex.
We'll
catch up with you in the networking. Cheers, mate. All right. Well, there you go. 6 startups. I hope that gave you enough of insight to carry on the conversations right there. We'll before we move on, though, just a quick recap and reminder that if you want to get involved in MadFest, we'd love to engage you there. We've got an opportunity for brands who are here to launch their own brand challenge. Like Dan said, there's no cost to being involved. Give us your challenge. We'll find a bunch of startups that can solve that as part of the festival. It's going to be epic. And then the second thing I wanted to mention is what's coming up. So for our marketing leaders, we are going to be meeting every second Thursday, like I said. So the next session for your diary is on the 8th of October. Put it in there. We'll see you here, same time, same place at 2 p.m. on the 8th of October. And of course, please feel free to bring colleagues. It's a great opportunity for them to get exposure to the latest innovation and to network with other leaders from across the industry as well. But if you're also involved in other industries, then we've got opportunities for those of you who might be working in retail or interested in e-commerce to join our retail session, which is next week. Or if you happen to be in the mobility industry, then we've got a session on the, fourth Thursday of every month as well. So you can join us there on the 24th of September. And of course, if you're in an innovation role within a corporate, then you're more than welcome to join us where we look at enabling 1st of October. So that's for corporate innovation leaders that are responsible for the innovation agenda more holistically. All right, enough of me. It's time to connect. So if you head over to the networking section, you can do chat roulette, which is your chance to meet with other club members. It's really cool. It's like 2-minute rotations. It forces you to rotate, so no awkward conversations. You can leave it at any time. You can also click connect, and your details will be shared automatically with the other person as well. So that's a lot of fun. There's some great members here, so do make the most of that. Second thing is you've got the Expo Zone. So head there if you've got any questions about the startups. You can see a video from them. You can hit a blue button and connect with them. You can also chat directly with them through that mechanism as well. So do make the most of it. We'll keep this open for the next 40 minutes or so. And of course, if you have any suggestions on how we can make these sessions even more useful for you, then I'd love to hear them. Please shoot me an email, jeremy.bassett@cocube.com, and we can talk from there. So for now, see you in the networking zone. Thanks for joining.